Ladies, so Derek Chauvin went down on all three counts. Guilty, guilty, and guilty. It was really gratifying to see, and um, I want to express my utmost condolences to the Floyd family. I know that this is only accountability and not justice, and I really wish that there was more that we could do, that we could have prevented this from happening instead of um, going all going through all of that just to hope that maybe the officer would be held responsible. Um, the police report completely contradicts what the video said, and if that 9-year-old girl hadn't recorded the whole thing, if people hadn't protested to get the cops to do something in the first place, then it could have very easily have been decided by a functionary to not have been brought before the law in the first place. So we really do need to do something about Mr. We write the reports around here. And I'm not a big fan of how the far right reacted to the Derek Chauvin trial. Um resent I actively resent them calling what happened to Derek Chauvin a lynching, because I think that if the whole country has to hear all these details about George Floyd going all the way back to when he was a kid and speculating about what was in his system and what kind of person he was the money real, and on and on and on, that the law could answer a few questions about procedure, and um, you could be held responsible for intentionally standing on somebody's neck for a minute and a half. And I don't think that that crosses the line into lynching territory, especially not when your boss comes down from on high to give both spoken and written testimony that what you were doing is fundamentally wrong, and you're criticized by cops from all over the country. Definitely not a fucking lynching. Um, but their other reaction on the far right was interesting to me. They kept noting how scared they were of the street protests and how they don't think that the trial itself could have happened without them, which, in a weird way, I almost agree with. Like, I don't think that that was undue pressure on the city, or that the protesters were dangerous or anything, but I do definitely think that their presence had an effect on making sure that proper law and proper procedures were followed. Like, if those people hadn't shown up to witness it and to protest if it hadn't gone the right way, there's no way in hell that um, Derek Chauvin would have been put on the stand in the first place. He probably would have been given, an administrative leave, which is effectively a vacation for killing someone. So you heard it straight from them. What they're scared of is direct action. You showing up, you carrying your sign, you telling them that you won't stand for it and it's wrong. They don't want the crowd to be there. They want you to just roll over and take it from the cops. And that's the last thing that I intend to do. That's the last thing that I hope for you to do. They're trying to intimidate you into not showing up for Black Lives Matter. And they're doing it in a really fucked up way by saying, oh, well, the police, they're not confident in their ability to do their job anymore. They're going to be quitting en masse, like they did a year ago when the George Floyd thing first came up. If you're a police officer who is going to quit the force because you don't think qualified immunity could prevent you from going to jail for blatantly killing someone, then we don't need you to be a fucking cop. It's a really good thing that you're going to quit and spare the community of a predator, because that's what you are. Like, you even advertise the fact that you're a predator with your whole speeches about how you're the sheepdog preventing the ignorant sheep from getting eaten by the wolves. And I could deal without far-right commenters saying that I should be raped or otherwise horribly assaulted because they want to hear me cry out to the cops. That just really solidifies that these authoritarian douchebags aren't really needed as much as we all used to think that they are. That we could really do with a nonviolent, um, nonviolent intermediary for the law, nonviolent intermediaries for mental health. We don't need Batman and his utility belt armed to the teeth to solve all of our problems, because chances are they're just going to smack their wives and not test the rape kit anyway before trying to get off on kneeling on your neck for 9.5 minutes.